Good morning, fam. Mr. Frederick back. Welcome. Welcome to the good word, Mr. Frederick. All right, guys. As you know, I always start with looking at today's Bible verse. Let's see what we have here. Just this camera a little bit. All right. Okay. Always got to start off with a good Bible verse. All right, fam. We're going to start with today's verse is James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Ooh, that's good, fam. That means that if you can deny your flesh, if you can deny temptation, if you can find a way to deny all of these sins or whatever, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get something good because you endured. Now, of course, no, you're not going to be perfect, but just try to do your best. All right, guys. So, what I'm going to talk about today on this live is going to be, it's called, They Can Only Pretend to Get In. They have to pretend to get in. And what that is about is individuals that you will meet that will pretend. Touched on it a little bit yesterday, but they will pretend, they will wear a mask to get inside of for you to open up and become vulnerable to them. They will wear a mask and pretend to be someone that they're not. It's really troubling psychologically because you'll be able to see different signs that they're doing this, but at the same time, you might say to yourself, I'm going to see how long this person could keep this up. And as you see how long that they can keep it up, some people can hold their water for years. Some people can be phony for years. They can pretend for years. I mean, you'll see that that's not them along the way. You'll be like, but they'll still keep it up. That's just kind of how they live. All right, so the first problem with that, when you see individuals like that, as you guys come into the live, give me some likes. Give me some likes, guys, as you guys come into the live. But the first problem that you'll see with people who pretend to get in, and is that, first of all, they're dangerous because the reason they're dangerous is because they're inside now. By them being inside, they're inside, they have your information, they're close to you. Now that's a very dangerous individual. That's like a spy. That's like, someone behind enemy lines. So they're very dangerous because they have wore a mask to get close to you. Maybe they meet your family, maybe they meet your friends, maybe they meet, someone that or important. It could be jobs, but that is very troubling to you. You will see that. Another thing you'll notice is that they'll change up. You'll notice that these people they will definitely change up. They will not be consistent. They will change their whole kind of way of being, their philosophy on life. Major things they'll change. Major things they'll change. So it's not like I'm changing whether I eat chicken or fish or beef. No, they're changing from political parties. They'll change their ethnicity. They'll change major things, where they went to school, so many things. So you got to really be cognizant of that. You have to be. When you see individuals like that change up on you, they're dangerous because they're wearing a mask. Now they're inside, and now you're in a position or you're in a situation where you don't know who they really are. That's the danger. You know who they have presented to you, but that's not who they really are. So that's what you got to watch out for. That change up is very dangerous. And let's say also, they'll tell their friends different stories about you. So, for instance, you might be around their friends, and that's going to be a way you're going to notice something too. Because you'll go around their friends and family, and they've talked about you behind your back. And the friends and family might be looking at you a certain kind of way. And you're like, why are they looking at me like this? Why are they treating me like like I got a rash or something. Why are they acting? What's wrong with these people? And what it is that they have told their friends something different about you. Their friends and family, they have a whole different story about you. Okay, you don't know their friends and family, so you're going to be like, okay. And in reality, if you give people the benefit of doubt, you might think that they don't do this, but a lot of people do this. They talk about you behind the back to their people, and then when you meet their people are looking at you crazy. Hello, Noel. Let's see. Medium Cup say, wouldn't you say that everyone wears a mask to a certain extent? No one truly shows themselves when first meeting a new. No, of course, that's true. Again, if you listen to me, I said major. I'm not talking about whether you eat chicken or fish, medium coffee. I'm saying major changes. I'm talking about whether you're Muslim or Christian. I'm talking about stuff like whether you're from Mozambique or whether you're from Brazil. Those are major changes. All right, give me some lights, guys, as you come in the live. So what you got to understand is this is not small things. These are major things, things that change the complexion of the relationship. These are major attributes to a person, major belief systems. So that's not typical. That's everybody doesn't walk around wearing a mask of major belief systems that they have. Most people, if they are Christian, they'll say, hey, I'm a Christian to whoever they meet. If they're a Muslim, they'll say, hey, I'm a Muslim. If they're from Idaho, I'm from Idaho on Monday. I'm from Idaho on Friday. They're not going to be from Idaho on Monday, and on Friday, they're from Colombia, South America. This is a mental illness we're talking about, to a certain degree. Now, some people can do it and they don't have a mental illness. They're just manipulative. They just have picked up, this is a way for them to really, you could say it's a personality disorder, but you could also say they're just a very manipulative person. And it might be a Machiavellian type personality where they like to fool people, they like to hurt people, they like to inflict pain. That's sadistic. That's someone that's definitely not mentally healthy. And the thing is that you won't really know all the time. They'll throw little hints here and there in general conversation that you'll say, like say for instance, just to give you guys an example, if say you tell them, hey, I tripped up, fell, hit my head, and they start laughing, something that harmed you, or somebody, you tell them a story, somebody did something to you in your past or whatever, what'll happen is that say I get what you're saying. That could be a sociopath. Absolutely right, medium coffee. A sociopath. But it doesn't have to always be a sociopath. What you got to understand is that it's one of those things where they can do it for several different reasons. But the major problem is that not why they did it or it's that they're doing it. So you don't really need to be concerned. You're not a doctor. So you don't need to be concerned about diagnosing them with any mental illness. You just need to recognize the signs of someone who's pretending around you. They are very dangerous people, whether it's sociopath, whether it's could be a personality disorder, whatever it is. You just need to know it's dangerous to have them around you, especially close to you. They can steal your emails, steal your cell phones, break in your accounts. I mean, they can do all, they have no limits. They have no boundaries. These people, especially if they believe you won't hurt them. If they believe that you won't harm them in some kind of way physically, the main threat for them is you beating them up or something else. That's how they think. They think like, okay, if this person doesn't physically harm me, or maybe they won't call the authorities on me, so that's why sometimes with people, you have to understand that if you don't give off a threat to them, now again, this is not typically a mentally healthy person, but if you don't give off a threat, now you need to give off some kind of threat to most people anyway, just to let, hey, don't, you can't come. Most people could kind of, but some people they push the boundary. Like they'll test you. Let me see. I don't really think this person will do it. Some people try to bring out the worst in you. Some people absolutely try. They attempt. You're a good person. You're a warm-hearted, good-hearted person. They want to see the worst in you. Like those are really sick people. But and they could be playing with fire with that because they never know when you might snap. Because even the nicest, kindest person has a shadow side. So I don't care who you are, you have a shadow side, reference to Carl Jung. Okay. So psychologists from back in the day, but you have a shadow side. So even the kindest people that you might think are non-threatening, once you push them to certain limits, once you put them in certain situations, that actually might be the person that is the most threatening because they're in a place where they're normally not. So they don't even know what they might do to you. And you might end up getting hurt playing around with someone thinking that they're nice and kind and, oh, since they're nice and smiling, I could do this and get away. They won't hurt me. They won't. Don't play that game if you're that type of manipulative person. You might lose that game. And that person ends up in jail and you end up not here anymore. So this is the problem. You don't even want to be around these sick kind of people. Honestly, you don't. So another factor you got to remember with these people is um, they will throw it in your face later. So when you share things with them, what they'll do, they will take everything you share with them and throw it in your face later. So nothing's sacred with them. They'll tell all your business to anyone you know. Come on, guys, subscribe, guys. So they'll tell all your business to anyone you know. Anything you tell them is nothing sacred with them. They're going to tell everything you've ever told them to anyone they want to tell. They have no values, no principles, no morals. They'll tell. So wearing that mask allows them to do anything to anybody because they can step and separate themselves and say, "Hey, I'm not this person. That was that person that did it." Where you say, Mina Cover, how do you present a show of force to appear as not a soft target while also not succumbing to becoming the angry person they are trying to manipulate you to be? That's a good question. Good question. I would say one good thing would be is to set boundaries. So when you're setting the boundaries, medium coffee, you don't want to like let it stack up until the straw breaks the camel's back. You want to when they're going to try you with little comments first. They're going to try. They're not just going to come in. They're going to throw something at you and see how you respond. Like it might be a sideway a compliment slash insult, something like that. They're very good at skilled at that. They'll mix a compliment in with an insult, something like that. But whenever they do that, you need to acknowledge it immediately. You need to say, "Hey, why'd you say that?" Or, "Are you talking about me?" You don't take it. Don't let it go over because that's really going to be how they test you. They're going to always test your boundaries some kind of way. See how you respond. Now, if you overly emotionally respond, they might use that too. But so it's very tricky. You want to be able to acknowledge when something feels uncomfortable to you that they have created or have said. You want to acknowledge it right away. You want to let them know. So that's letting them know you're not a soft target. You're very aware, very self-aware. You're very present and you have a strong sense of self. So what they prey on in general is individuals who might be, maybe they have not come up in the best environments. It wasn't promoted for them to defend themselves or to, they might be somewhat non-confrontational. They just don't want the smoke. Someone like that, they prey on because they want the smoke. They really don't want the smoke, but they're willing to kind of test and see if you want it. And if you don't want it, that's how they get in. When they see that you don't want the confrontation, and usually another thing that they do, they'll have something that it's a reason you're around them. So it might be money, it might be sex, it might be status, whatever. It's something that you're around them for. And whatever you're around them for, that is what they're using to see how bad do you want this? Are you going to put up with this to get this? And that's when your strong sense of self has to be solidified because you got to know what you want before they know. You got to know, okay, I don't care what you're offering me. It's not worth my self-respect. I don't care what you'll give to me. It's not worth, any sort of deception. You're deceiving me. That's my standard. So in actuality, you're setting the standard. You're a reflection. Everyone you're around is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So it's not even really about them. If you have a strong sense of self, these type of individuals I'm talking about, the pretenders, they won't even get in because they won't qualify. It's just like a job application. Look at it like that. Everybody that's around you is applying for a job to be an employee of John F. Cook, CEO. Excuse me, Inc. INC. So they're all applying to be a part of your company. And if your company has a high standard for who they hire, they won't ever get in. If you see that person lying in the beginning, believe me, it's just more lies to come. The lies down the road are going to be more dangerous, more detrimental to you. And so if you have a strong sense of self, you'll identify what they're doing and you'll say, I don't stand for that. And you won't even let them in. You say, meaning, well, this is a great advice, something I need to work. It's okay. Hey, look, I need to work on it too. A lot of people, listen, medium coffee, I'm glad we're having this dialogue because a lot of people, they aren't aware of this, especially if they haven't been around these. Some people haven't been around them and they aren't aware and they could get caught like that. And some people grew up with people like this. So it's not as dangerous to them or it's not as, they don't take it as serious. But either way, those two types of individuals can fall victim to this because either you've been around it and it's so usual to you that you let it in, or you haven't been around it and you don't understand it. But they can prey on those two kind of people. Either way, the stronger your sense of self is and you setting those boundaries early on, the little cynical, the little remarks, the little backhanded compliments, all the little or just lies. If you catch them in deception, like, oh, I thought you said you went to this school. Oh, no, I went to that school. Oh, I thought you said you worked here. Oh, no, I meant I work here. I work there. When you start, because they can't keep up with their lies. That's what's going to trip them up with wearing that mask and pretending. And like you said, we don't tell everybody everything about you the first day you meet them. You would be mentally unhealthy. You'd be mentally unstable to do that. But as you get to know a person and they earn your trust, you earn a certain level of respect for back and mutual respect. Then you share more of yourself and you open up a little bit. You see how they respond to that. Can you trust them with that? It's just like a child. You're not just going to give a child a Ferrari at 16 years old. You're going to start out with training wheels when they're little. Give them a little training wheel bike. Then you give them a 2-seat bike. And then you might get them a little dirt bike. And then next thing you know, you get them an old junk car. You're not going to give them a Ferrari. You give them a car they could beat up and see how they handle that. If they're crashing that car, you're certainly not going to give them a new car. So that's how you do with people. You see how much. You wait and see. Have they earned to this access to me? You have to make them earn the access to you. Because if you don't do that, and also the danger in keeping these people around, if you have a tragedy in your life, you have something go down and you got someone around you like this, they could run all over you because you are weakened now, so you can't pay attention to them as much. And the problem is you never know when a tragedy is going to happen in your life. Okay? You never know. When I lost my father, I didn't know I was going to lose him, but that was a tragedy. And then you get weakened, and then you got somebody around you like this for years that has already been this. They've already been deceptive. They've already been wearing a mask. And the problem is you're weaker now. So the fact that you're weaker allows you to be preyed upon. Now you might be having anxiety attacks. And you're like, what is wrong? Why am I getting all this? Well, you're getting that because this has always been a bad person for you to be around. It's just that now, mentally, you have something else that's wearing on your psyche. And so on top of everything, now that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's so much you can't take it. And all of a sudden you have a breakdown. So, not a breakdown, but an anxiety or panic attack. Your mind can't take all of that because you know something's wrong with this person. You can feel this person is unsafe and dangerous. So your amygdala, your fight or flight is going off like this person's around me and they're lying and they're scheming, but you can't respond the same way because you're so emotionally drained by what's going on in your life. And that's exactly what happened to me. And it surprised me because I was like, wow, I didn't think I could have anxiety, whatever. But yeah, you can have anxiety being around these people because they're so dangerous. Your mind is telling you they're dangerous. It's just like when you're in the woods, we have an ancient radar on us. We have that's how we're wired. We can feel danger when we're around someone who's dangerous. we can feel it. Even though they're saying, hey, I'm friendly, I'm nice, our instincts is saying this person is dangerous. I don't know what they're lying about, I don't know what they're doing, but your instincts will tell you that person's dangerous. You need to get away from them. And that's why you don't keep them around under any instance. You never know what can happen in life. Okay? And so, yeah, that's all I have for today, guys, about that. Oh, no, last one is they'll always have surprises. It'll always be major surprises that you didn't know about them. Like, and usually that's towards the end. It'll be like, what? I didn't know you were from Antarctica. I didn't know you were from Mars. Yeah, I speak Martian too. You didn't know that? I thought I told you on a second date. It will always be major surprises that'll come up, okay? That's just going to happen, all right? Okay, and also what I want to talk about, guys, is we had a legend pass away yesterday, rather. A legend passed away. I just talked about him earlier this week. I don't know what's going on, but I just talked about Roy Ayers. The legendary Roy Ayers passed away yesterday, unfortunately. 84 years old. I just talked about Roy Ayers, and it just hurts my heart. Let me read a little bit about him, because it's just so sad that, to lose another legend, along with Angie Stone, too, this week. But just want to... Okay, so Roy Ayers was born September 10th, 1940, died March 4th, 2025. Roy Ayers was 84 years old. 84 years old, and he leaves behind a spouse. Well, I don't know, but he leaves behind a spouse. So Roy Ayers is gone, folks. He was a great musician. Obviously, I talked about him earlier this week. Didn't know he was going to pass, but it's just sad. I want to say RIP to him. I mean, his music has inspired millions, including myself. One of his songs, that I really enjoyed was Third Eye, Memories, Everyone Loves the Sunshine. I mean, his catalog is extensive. You guys got to check him out. For my younger viewers, my analytics say I got everyone between 15 and 65. So pretty much a lot of different age ranges listen and watch me. So it's not like I just have older people. So my younger people, I can say check out Roy Ayers. He was a legend, and he did a lot. He has a lot of great music. His most recent thing I think he did that was very good was the NPR Tiny Desk session. He did one of those. So check out Roy Ayers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Again, love what you do and do what you love. And remember, if they're not real, you can't build. Take care.